Likewise, if you can hear me. Clap 3 times. Awesome. Hi, everybody. We're starting early. I don't know how that happened, but I'm so happy that all of you are here. Probably we're going to have some more people coming in as the night progresses. My name is Maya Zuckerman. I'm the co-founder of Transmediasf. Tonight we have a special event because we're co-hosting it with the Bay Area San Francisco content strategy team are here. The meetup is here as well. So welcome to those who are part of that. A couple announcements before we start. We do have only 2 speakers tonight. Fortunately, our benefit people got sick, so we understood that they cannot make it. But we do have Bernie Sue and Wired, Bernie from Lizzie Bennet and Wired from Blue Bottle Coffee. And before we start, I wanted to do a quick thank you for our sponsors. The food that you're eating is from Sweet 7, so thank you very much. The beer that you're having is Lagunitas. And our media sponsor, as always, is the Producers Guild of America, so we want to always give them a shout out. Yeah, so tonight we're having an interesting experiment because we're really brought, like we always do, we try to bring the 360 of what the transmedia ecosystem is, what this new story world of content strategy, of storytelling, of story versus technology. And in Transmediasf, we really believe that in San Francisco, we're at the epicenter of all of these different things. So we're looking at both brands and content, entertainment, how they develop and manage their story world cross-platform. And tonight I also have Frank with me from the SF Bay Area Content Strategy Meetup. Frank, you want to come and say a few things?
Hey everyone. So yeah, we're super excited you're here. So thanks so much for coming. And yeah, this is a little bit of a different event for the Content Strategy Meetup. We've never co-hosted an event before, so we're super excited to do it with the Transmedia group. And just a little kind of why I think this is kind of cool is, Transmedia is really kind of telling the story across channels, and it's often a kind of a fictional world, which is really what brands do, and what we do as content strategists. And we're really programming that world, kind of thinking through how do we create content for different channels, what's the difference between those channels, how do you tell a brand story across channels. So it's kind of a chance to put kind of our 2 groups into conversation, I think, around things that really are fundamental to what we both are doing digitally. So that's, I don't know, so I'm pretty psyched about that opportunity. And I'm really sorry that the Benefit, the Benefit Cosmetics girls couldn't make it because they're fun. But I think this is going to be a really great event tonight with just really looking at how kind of a brand and how a kind of a creative story world are kind of brought to life. So super excited to have you guys here. I just wanted to shout out to our volunteers, those of you who came early. Thanks so much for your help. You guys are great.
We couldn't do it without our volunteers. And so we're going to have 2 amazing presentations, a thought-provoking panel, and then some exciting announcements after the panel. So please stay, because we have some really great things coming up. So I think we are going to start with Bernie. Before we actually introduce you, do you want us to run the video so that people can actually know? And I'm just going to say a few words with the video. Yeah, before we start the video. This is really exciting to have Bernie fresh out of the Emmys. The Lizzie Bennet Diaries won a web series, or was it a series?
Original interactive series.
Original interactive series for basically creating a story world that audiences can interact with for a full year, and had so many successes. Metrics were off the charts, and a very successful Kickstarter, and really an amazing story world that people really got engaged with and excited about. So can we have the video? Thank you.
The Lizzie Bennet Diaries is a modern adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, told through YouTube and dozens of different social network sites. But unlike every other show with a Twitter account, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries uses social media to create a vast, connected world with characters that engage the audience on an almost daily basis. Lizzie is a 24-year-old grad student with a mountain of student loans and a mother who only cares about one thing, marrying her off along with her sisters, Jane, the sweet one, and Lydia, the wild one. Lizzie keeps a blog with the help of her best friend, Charlotte.
Seriously?
And then the other character from Pride and Prejudice begins showing up. Mr. Bingley is now a handsome young medical student, and his friend, the insufferable Mr. Darcy.
Darcy, bot malfunction.
Darcy? Genuine?
Darcy didn't appear on camera for the first 60 episodes, but when he finally did, the audience went bananas.
Well, this should be good.
You're filming.
If you've got something to say to me, you say it here and now.
Lydia starts her own vlog with her cousin Mary and her cat, Kitty. And some swimmer named Wickham comes to town and is nothing but trouble. Lizzie follows a school assignment to a company called Pemberley Digital, which just happens to be owned by Darcy, where Darcy's sister Gigi and his friend Fitz keep throwing them together. And their feelings start to change. But then Wickham has a sex tape of Lydia, and Darcy and Gigi save the day, and, well, you know how it is. Altogether, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries filmed over 150 video episodes across 5 different YouTube channels with over 9.5 hours of video. And the story spread across 35 social media sites that conveyed vital story content and major plot points and created a bond between characters and the audience that made the Lizzie Bennet Diaries one of the most popular multi-platform shows of all time, amassing over 40 million views on YouTube. The show won awards for interactive excellence and knocked Colin Firth off as the internet's most popular Darcy, and created a record-breaking Kickstarter campaign. And most importantly, assembled an army of fans who are now clamoring for more interactive multi-platform content.
Lizzie Bennet, I'm in love with you.
So put your hands up for...
Are you going to buy for me?
You actually, I think you can do it yourself. You just slide it. And if you can't, there's a nice young man over there.
All right, great. All right, so what you just saw was a 2-minute reel of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. I'm going to just do a quick intro about it again. It's a modernized adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. This is a conversion from PowerPoint, so I apologize for formatting. Because I don't know why the word text is there, but that's okay. It's the modernized adaptation of Pride and Prejudice for the connected generation. And what you're about to see, this is a roughly 15-minute presentation. That is the presentation I gave to the jury at the Emmys. So this is literally the Emmy-winning presentation. So here we go. And this presentation has never been seen publicly, so you are the first. So I'm going to start it off. So Lizzie Bennet by the numbers, just like the video you just saw. 160 enrolled videos across 5 YouTube channels. We have 9.5 hours of total video content. It is the longest version of Pride and Prejudice in recorded history. We tell our story across 35 social media profiles using platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Pinterest, Lookbook, and many more. We have 750,000 total social media reach. This is all the followers and likes and fans all added together. 40+ billion views across YouTube. We had a Kickstarter, which I'll talk about more, that did $462,000. And our audience, gotta know who we're talking to, 90% females, 10% males, and 70% of the total audience, not just the women, 70% females under 25. Again, formatting, whatever. All right, so to walk you through the user experience, now here's some theory for you guys. I know this is a Transmedia meetup and a story and content meetup. So first rule we have, the Transmedia is encouraged but not required. If you want to watch Pride and Prejudice as a YouTube series, straight through, we do not require you to do any of the interactive content. You can get the entire story just at the top level, which I'll explain more later. But we do encourage you to dive down, to look around, click around, Twitter, Facebook, all these things. And what do you get? You get an interactive experience. You get the chance to interact with iconic characters, talk to them, they may talk back. You get to receive expanded content, explore it, which will reveal plot, character, and or plot. And you can experience different characters' POVs over the course of the one grand narrative. If those of you know Pride and Prejudice, it is a first-person story told from Elizabeth's point of view. We give you the option of exploring the story through multiple characters' points of view. And we are selective with our use of platforms. Not everybody has a Facebook account. Not everybody is going to be on Pinterest. So we select our platforms based on the character to make it an authentic experience. All of this serves to enrich and immerse, and we're going to talk about that in a second. And just to clarify again, if you don't want to dive down, you can just play this playlist on YouTube, watch 7.5 hours, 100 videos, and you get Pride and Prejudice on YouTube. Next, basic thing, all of our platforms are in character, as I explained before. These are the 4 basic ones for the main character, Elizabeth Bennet. These are social media metric numbers that are probably up to date within the last 30 days. Again, this is a fictional character. This is not some bloated number. These are actually authentic numbers. YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, this is basically the entry points of where you can come into the story, whether it be through video or through the social. You can talk to her directly and she can talk back. Diving a little deeper now, social metrics across other characters. This is not all the characters, just some of the key ones here. Lizzie at the top, as you see again, the same numbers from the previous slide. Second one, Lydia Bennett, the younger sister. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Jane Bennett, the older sister. Again, different accounts here. You see different accounts. Pinterest and Lookbook, which are fashion, so I'll talk about more later. Georgiana Darcy, who doesn't appear later. And you can see the numbers across these. These are individual accounts, fictional characters, and you see some pretty good conversion down to and consistency across these numbers. And a big thing to note here, the official show's account, when you watch a show on ABC, there's like Revenge Official. This is our version where we tweet about like our news, like we won the Emmy, right? There are more people following the fictional character, Lizzie, than there are the actual show's account, which I find incredibly fascinating. So, moving on, the basic diving experience. The first thing you do, you go onto YouTube, you watch a video. We all know how we do this, we've all done it. What happens after the video? Well, now you have a choice. Right here, we have a post roll, and you have some choices to make here. One, you can go to the next video or the previous video, depending on where you are in the timeline. You can go to an alternate character's video, or next video or previous video, again, depending on where you are in the timeline. You can check out this character's social media destinations right here. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. And of course, you can buy merch. Why not?
From Heather Esther on Twitter.
Hold on a second. So the next slide is the queued up, because the video automatically plays. As an example of interactivity, so the first thing it's going to play, it's going to be on the right, this side of the screen, the left, your right, my left. It's going to demonstrate how we use questions and answers to drive character and plot. Here you go.
From Heather Esther on Twitter. Are there any guys in your life right now?
That is a great question, Heather. So, Lizzie.
Not that I can think of, but
Alright, so basically what that means is that what we do is we mine questions from Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr, and Lizzie answers the questions not as the actor, but the character. And so we have to script these out. What these questions do, of course, add character and or plot to enhance the experience. The audience feels like they're part of the show now. And of course we can do this in a simpler way. The YouTube comments. Lizzie posts video herself. We've established that she's a vlogger and she posts the videos herself. And so in this frame, Lydia is high-fiving the screen. Daniel Kidder here, I know you probably can't read it. He says, I high-five the screen. Lydia goes, please don't encourage her. It's hard enough living with her as it is. And again, in highlighting the character experience or the relationship between those two characters, and so forth. Next, another example of activity, characters on Twitter. Two characters having a conversation on Twitter, two fictional characters. We know this, we've seen it before, and at least many of you probably have, but we take it to another level. So on the left side, left column, there's two characters, Fitz and Gigi. They're having a conversation on Twitter. This fan, at the top middle here, Lizzie Marchese, calls us out. She goes, I need proof that you two are together in order to do this. So we have this card in our back pocket, the picture of the two actors together at this courtyard, ready for this question. And sure enough, both characters bring her into the conversation through Twitter and bring her into the experience. And you can see our engagement here. Again, fictional characters. And finally, this is one of our grandest experiences, what I call the rabbit hole. So, Lizzie, number one over here, the far left here, she talks about a company that she's working at, and people want to know more about the company. She goes, click down the link below, and you can find out more about the company. Fictional company, of course. Well, here's our bit.ly tracking this link, 33,544 clicks. Where does it go? This website here, it's a fictional website of a fictional company, it's a real website, of a fictional company, and on this website there's a call to action. Collins & Collins seeks on-camera talent. This video is playable, of course, and it's a how-to video, how to troubleshoot your light switch. Very dry. And sure enough, we have fans submitting application videos over here on the right column to submit for this position to be a host of these how-to videos. And what do? We hire one of them and put her in one of these videos. And that's connecting the entire experience. Now I'm going to move on to the expanded universe, where I talked about to expand the character experience, where you can do some exploring here. Jane Bennett, in our story, is a big fashionista. And so here's where we use two social networks that are unique to her to enhance this experience. On the left, Lookbook, which is a fashion social network. Jane puts together a look, this whole look you see here, and puts it on the social network. You see the engagement here, the hypes, which are the likes on Lookbook. She also tags the brands, Forever 21, so forth. And this look is something that she actually wore in episode, I believe, 12 of the series. And then on the right, her Pinterest. We all know Pinterest. She posts looks of herself, of course. You see in the in the corners here, but she also pins things that she enjoys and likes herself. And you can see in Pinterest there's some engagement here where fans are talking to her and wanting to know more about the things she's pinning. And then finally, on the finally. Another example of the expanded universe. This is Gigi's This Is My Jam account. This Is My Jam is a music social network, basically saying what you're listening to as tracks. We use this to inform the audience of what she's feeling through a 10-month campaign, which I'll talk about later, as she gets over a breakup. These tracks are songs that a young, could be female, would be listening to as she recovers from a very big heartbreak. And finally, the cats. Everybody loves cats, the internet loves cats, so we put a cat in here too. So, Kitty Bennet in the story is one of the sisters of Lizzie and Lydia and Jane, but we have too many sisters in our story. Why are there 5 girls in this world? So we're going to make Kitty Bennet a literal cat. So Lydia calls out the Twitter account on the video. She then, on her own videos, in the spin-off, she films the cat in the video. And of course, you make a cat on Twitter. There it is, 14,971 followers. And all this account does is create pictures of itself. These cats here. Now, just to clarify, this is a fictional cat. It's not even a real cat. Obviously, there's a cat playing this character. But the cat's name is not Kitty. It is a fake cat with 15,000 Twitter followers. I know, crazy. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the multi-platform arc example. How do we use all of these platforms to showcase a storytelling experience? And I'm going to give you 2 examples of it. Here's one. Episode 4, far left here, April 19th. This is a Thursday. Lizzie and Lydia, there you see in the screenshot, they talk about an upcoming wedding that's going to happen. On Saturday, April 21st, you see a Twitter conversation happening between Caroline and Darcy, who are at this wedding, tweeting about how terrible of a time they're having at this wedding, and how their companion, Mr. Bingley, is falling for, or keeps dancing with this one girl. What happens? The next day on Twitter, Mr. Bingley and Jane, the girl he was dancing with, follow each other on Twitter. Big event in the modern dating world, I would suppose. Then on Monday's video, April 23rd, Lizzie now brings Jane into the video and talks about the wedding that's happened over the last couple of days. April 26th, Jane posts on her lookbook what she was wearing at this wedding. Very trendy look here. And the same day, Bingley and Caroline talk about the post that just happened. One full thread over 1 week. Again, second example of the multi-platform arc told through all these social media platforms. January 19th, Q&A episode. This is a Saturday, I believe. Gigi and Lizzie talk about having lunch and then suggest taking a tour of San Francisco. This show was set in Los Angeles, so this is foreign to them, our great city here today. But Gigi lives in San Francisco, and she wants to take Lizzie on a tour of San Francisco and set her up with her brother. Lizzie doesn't know this, but she does. We verify the lunch. 2 actors in the same outfits having lunch at a cafe, tweeting. This is from Gigi's Twitter account. The next Monday, Lizzie and Gigi bond more, and they just become closer friends. On Thursday's video, Gigi opens up about her past, but she verifies with Lizzie that we're going to go on a tour, me, you, and Darcy, set up, on a tour of San Francisco that weekend. And what happens that Saturday, January 26th? A series of photos from San Francisco. This is actually here. We actually shot this here. As you can tell, you're all from the city. You know that actually is Bay and Hyde, and with the cable car line, and so forth. So we actually verified this with a series of, you don't see all the photos here, but there's actually, I think, 10 of these around Fisherman's Wharf and now, all over the place to verify that she has been touring San Francisco with this group. And of course, you can see the engagement down here, maybe not from the back, but like this particular picture with our main couple together, falling in love with quotes, has 600 retweets and 2,000 favorites. And again, this is from Gigi's Twitter account. This is so from a supplemental character's Twitter account, getting this level of engagement. And so now we're going to talk about some theory here. This is parallel storytelling. This is something that I think is one of the primary slides of this presentation. Again, as I said before, if you want to see Pride and Prejudice on YouTube, you follow this top line, 12-month story. Lizzie Bennet's videos, you get Pride and Prejudice on YouTube. But if you want to dive down, you get an enhanced experience. You get to see different points of view. So, Lydia follows the same timeline, of course. And the first four months of the story, 1 through 4, Lizzie and Lydia are together. They're physically living in the same place. There's no reason to split them off. But on month 4, they split physically. They're living in different places. So I said, what is Lydia doing during this month? I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to put her on her own YouTube channel so you see what's happening during the same month when Lizzie is somewhere else and Lydia is somewhere else, so you can see it. They come back together, split off again, come back together, split off again, come back together. So in this example, you can basically follow the entire 12-month story from Lydia's point of view, something that's never been done before in any adaptation. And in the third level here, Georgiana Darcy doesn't appear in the videos until month 10, right here, all right? And so what do we have? We have 10 months of Twitter content to backdate her story. So if you want to go and see what she was doing for the first 10 months of the story, you may not get video, but you get tweets. You get to see what she's feeling for 10 months before she finally appears. And of course, we spin her off afterward. What does this mean? As an audience member, you have many, many choices. Again, you may just watch that top line and never see the other two. That's okay. But you can go all the way down the top line, come back to Lydia, come all the way down, come back to Gigi, and come all the way down. Or like many of our super fans, they just went through all of it in chronological order as it was happening. So you saw 3 points of view simultaneously. And finally, what does this all do? The immersive experience. These are 2 actual fans who messaged me and said they thought the show was real. They actually thought the show was real. And they knew what Pride and Prejudice was. So they know the story, but the experience was so immersive to them, they thought it was real. They were shocked they were actors. That level. And just to clarify, we do not hoax. We do not say it's a real experience. We just make it immersive an experience. You click 1 click, and you can see the credits. It's very easy. But apparently we did a really good job. So, the business. It's a business. We will, show business, tech, and everything. That you got to see the monetization. Lizzie Bennet Diaries has 5 revenue streams as a web series, as an interactive web series. 5. If anybody in this room were to do a feature film tomorrow, how many revenue streams we'd have? We'd have 0 until we actually sold it. Lizzie Bennet Diaries is a web series that has 5 revenue streams, and here they are. Advertising on YouTube, AdSense. An ad plays on YouTube, we get a cut. Number 2, merchandising. You see at the bottom here, poster, teacup, journal. 3, affiliate marketing, integration. What this is someone wears a dress, we link to the dress, we get a cut of this dress, of the sale. Number 4, DVDs, which was this Kickstarter right here. We did a Kickstarter. We didn't know if DVDs would sell for a web series that's available for free online in perpetuity. So we said to the audience, if you want it, we're going to pre-sell a DVD on a Kickstarter. If you order 1,000 DVDs, that would get us $60,000 or so. It would be worth us making this DVD. Well, they blew us out of the water. They pre-ordered 5,800 DVDs at a $55 a clip. Again, for a web series that's available for free online and probably forever until YouTube fails, if that ever happens. Anyway, finally, a novelization. This is not public information. Well, it's kind of public. But Lizzie Bennet Diaries has signed a book deal with Simon & Schuster to be a novelization of a web series based on a novel that's coming in 2014. Thank you. Finally, this is the last slide. The legacy of Lizzie Bennet Diaries is a scripted narrative and serialized web series profitable within 1 calendar year. It has been studied and analyzed in lecture halls and classrooms across the world as both an adaptation, a modern adaptation of a classical literature piece, as well as an interactive story telling innovation piece, I suppose. And it's been compared and placed with some of the great adaptations of history. I'm not saying we are, it's just people have compared it. You can make your own opinion. All right? And finally, I believe it is the definitive version of Pride and Prejudice for the connected generation. Connected generation being anyone under 25 who doesn't know a world without the internet, who never did. And why? As some proof of that, again, you saw in the video, ABC News does a poll about famous actors behind William Darcy. Our Darcy is winning this poll against Colin Firth from the iconic 1995 BBC miniseries. And that is my presentation. Thank you very much, and that's how we want our Emmy. And with the ghost. All right.
Thanks, Bernie. That was awesome.
You're welcome.